This guy has so many points, and it's just out there.
Examples as to why, in fact, I'm doing this video. So first, let's get started with some of the videos from his supporters, or as I like to call them, its apologists.
This is why terms like colonizer and Karen aren't racial slurs. Colonizer and Karen are examples of labels some use for white people.
So let's start with the first one, racial, relating to or the characteristics of one race.
For white people.
For white people.
Now let's move on to the next word, slur. This one's going to have a couple different definitions, but let's move on to the last one here that I have on dictionary.com, and that is a disparaging remark or a slight. You put those together, and essentially what that is a disparaging remark against a specific race.
For white people.
I don't know what I'm missing here. I know a lot of people on the
Karen
internet like to just rewrite
and
history,
hate colonizer
rewrite
are
definitions,
racial slurs.
but according to dictionary.com, this is what's available to anyone that wants
and
to.
Urban
If you want to
Dictionary.
argue against this, well, that is because this is disturbing your echo chamber. But I digress. Let's get back to the point. I want you to keep this little snippet in mind.
Language to me is a very powerful entity.
After this, it will be undeniable to say that Lance does not use the word a colonizer in a racial slur context. But what was that again, Lance?
Language to me is a very powerful entity.
Well, let's continue.
Are you saying that the word colonizer is a racial slur?
The word colonizer is not racist. It's a mindset.
Now, granted, I will give some credit to people that say, oh, it's a mindset, because in some ways it can be used for that. However, this is not how Lance is using it. Clearly, we're going to be able to see that in this video. To tell someone colonizer is, in fact, being used more often than not in a racial slur manner.
Yep.
The first man that you saw, there's other people just like these two guys. Again, these are apologists for Lance. These are people that have been beaten into submission. In this video, you're about to see a string of POCs that respond to Lance. I put him in order from the least aggressive to the most aggressive. And you will notice that regardless of how we escalate, he will not respond with a
Hey, colonizer.
Let's get started.
With so much hate and rancor towards another racial group than this dude.
Really?
Sorry, where was the hey colonizer?
Happy Columbus Day, and apparently that is a very controversial statement. Here's why it's not controversial, because we don't get to judge historical figures from hundreds of years ago through the lens of modernity.
Let's go. We don't have to do that.
Modernwarrior expresses racist ideologies because he judges people on the color
Native
of their
American,
skin
right there.
and not the content of their character.
Yate. Sitsile.
So just to be clear, that is not just anyone responding to Modernwarrior, a Native American. That is another Native American responding to him.
You cannot drive out hate, only love can.
So you took one quote from Martin Luther King Jr.
Your ancestors are just as bad as the people that
Hey, colonizer.
How many times have you been on TikTok and this guy comes?
Perfect examples, my friend. So, wake up.